There's
Yeah,
JJ.
that's right.
That's yours, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
And you guys are lawyers. You can't serve me with a piece of paper.
You just got
And I'm
served
gonna
that
tell
piece
you,
of paper. Hey,
you
look,
just-
man.
You guys are not taking away my First Amendment rights.
You ain't got a First
I
Amendment
got
right.
First Amendment
That's
rights.
yours.
And
Served.
I think you ought to spend more time trying to get your kids back, and you should spend more time not beating women.
What can one say after an intro like that? Well, welcome to the channel. I'm Florida to Watch, and this is Double Down on Dumb. Today we're going to see Dumbwaiter going from one dumb thing to another, and dragging Tiffany along with him, implicating her in his stupidity. And since the pair of them have nothing between their ears, well, the information they receive is wasted. It's just gone out into the nether. We're going to start with Dumbwaiter trying to get the sheriff's office to certify and notarize his bullshit cease and desist form so that he can go and serve it on JJ, the elected jailer at the Meade County Detention Center. Let's see how that works out for him.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
We haven't met. I'm Chris.
I'm Scotty Singleton,
Nice to meet
but
you.
I don't give y'all permission to use my likeness or my name on
You
your
don't have any
channel.
likeness on my channel, man. You're on duty.
Okay,
Stop. I'm here to serve JJ with that.
I'm just telling you, y'all are
You don't need to
monetized
talk. Look,
stations.
I don't care if I'm
Okay.
monetized. I'm not commercial, man.
Okay,
I'm not commercial. You guys need to understand this. Listen. On duty.
okay.
You're on duty.
Listen to me. I don't even care about that stuff.
I have a right to record.
Okay. You take this piece of paper,
Yep.
give it to your attorney,
No. I'm
and
giving
that's
it
the
to
way.
JJ.
And that's the way that happens.
No,
Your
my attorney advised me to go ahead and serve him.
Don't raise your voice at me.
My voice is not raised. This ain't raised.
Take the paper to your attorney, because without a judge's signature, we don't serve it. Okay? If your attorney gets a judge to sign a court order,
I'm pro se
Then-
on this matter.
huh?
I am pro se on this matter.
Okay, if your judge, or if you get a court order signed by a judge and the judge says that we have to serve it, then we'll go serve it.
I wanted it certified, not served.
Okay? We don't certify it.
You don't certify
No.
this department?
No, we don't.
Then I'll run over here.
And we
to the-
can't notarize it because there's already signatures.
Well, we're both right here. We could sign it.
It's already signed. They
Right,
can't
we could do
notarize
another
it.
one and
So,
sign it.
okay.
That's what I'm saying. I got
But
three
just,
of them.
but just go talk to your attorney and.
I
your
don't have an attorney. I am my
Okay,
attorney.
okay.
I just want to serve JJ with
Okay.
a cease and desist.
Well, that's gotta be a,
Because he's
that
just-
has to be a judge's order.
Well, no, it doesn't. I can
Okay.
go. You want to? How about this? Why don't you just come over there with me and I'll do it?
Sir,
I can just hand it
it
to
is
him on
a,
recording.
it has to be a certified order from the judge for us to sign it. Okay?
I didn't say you signed it.
Okay, for us to go over there, it has to be certified by a judge for us to do anything with it.
For you to serve it, yes. For you to
Ask and
serve
answer.
it.
All questions are asked and answered.
You know, Hollywood couldn't do a better script than this. But in typical fashion, to what we've become used to, Dumbwaiter can't maintain the same story. First he says his lawyer told him to do this. Then he says he doesn't have a lawyer, he's doing it pro se. So which is it, Dumbwaiter? Do you have a lawyer or are you doing it pro se? Now I know this piece of advice is going to be wasted on you, Dumbwaiter. We've seen it before. But just remember this. A man who is his own lawyer has a fool for his client. Okay? So you're your own lawyer, you're a fool. So, okay, Dumbwaiter now leaves the sheriff's office after he's been told he needs a judge to sign a court order, and proceeds across to the detention center to serve JJ with a cease and desist letter. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Good luck, Chris.
Right here, guys.
Lobby
No,
floors.
I just need this served.
All right, back up.
Give that to JJ, okay?
Back up. Do not block the door.
You're served.
Back up.
JJ served.
That's fine. Back up.
All right. What's your name?
Back up.
What's your
My
name?
name's Brandon.
Brandon,
Do
thank you.
not block the door.
All right, done. All right, so Brandon was just served JJ's order. He is an employee. There's
Yeah,
JJ.
that's right.
That's yours, buddy.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
And you guys are lawyers. You can't serve me with a piece of paper.
You just got
And I'm
served
gonna
that
tell
piece
you,
of paper. Hey,
you
look,
ju-
man.
You guys are not taking away my First Amendment rights.
You ain't got a First
I
Amendment
got
right.
First Amendment
That's
rights.
yours.
And
Served.
I think you ought to spend more time trying to get your kids back, and you should spend more time not beating women.
Wait a minute. What does that thing
That
say?
was right, Dave.
I think that
Because that was just.
Yep, that went pretty much as I expected. Chrissy, the only thing that piece of paper was useful for was picking up the dog turd on the sidewalk. And your knowledge of law, well, that'd fit on an electron, and there would still be enough room to fit a neutrino as well. And just in case you missed it, thanks, Chrissy. On behalf of the Roughnecks and Wrangler, thank you for the product placement. Now, let's get on to the second part of this, doubling down on dumb. Just when you thought it was safe to venture out, along comes Chris Ryder, aka for public safety. Or should that be for public endangerment? Maybe for public harassment? I don't know. You decide what it should be, but it's certainly not for public safety. Chris Ryder doubles down on dumb. Now, I'm not worried about his YouTube page. I'm not worried about his latest video because other people are going to cover that. I am going to have a look at a couple of shots from his latest video, Elected Official Gets Served, Meade County, Kentucky. Also going to have a look at Official Misconduct's latest live from Cease and Desist. And there'll be a special shout out to Tiffany for part of her video. But I'm more interested in having a look at his Facebook page. Yeah, like most people, Chris Ryder's got multiple social media, and this is his Facebook page. Pretty innocuous, couple of horses. Hopefully they're running away from him. We've got a link to his business. This should be good. I mean, he's a contractor. He does construction and remodeling, so we should have pictures and testimonies and happy people with all of his work that he's done. Let's go have a look. And there's nothing. We have one photo. Chris, if this is the sort of advertising you're doing, no wonder you're not getting any work. You could have at least tidied up your mess. Actually, this could be his place. Anyway, let's go back to his page. Above the cut, construction and remodeling. Nothing. Now, he's supposed to be an international contractor. There's nothing here. You know, Chris, why aren't you advertising all your good work? You know, your happy customers. So his page is a construction company. Louisville, Kentucky, United States, Kentucky. You've got to be kidding me. This is today April the 1st. Have I gone to sleep last night and missed 2 and a bit months? One great contractor is his email. Really? One great contractor? What reality are you living in, Chris? I can't do this. I really can't do this. Hang on. I'm just going to have to take some of these. Yeah, that should be enough. Well, hopefully that's going to calm me down a bit. One great contractor. He's got reviews. Let's have a look at his reviews. 1.3 is his rating on 13 reviews. Nobody recommends him by the looks of it. I'm not surprised. How could you trust this guy? His entire mission in life is to berate and file frivolous lawsuits. Yeah, that's true. Consistent bad public relations, unsound construction work uses, his misunderstanding of the law and the Constitution to harass, convicted lawbreaker to boot. Yeah. Right, I certainly wouldn't be using his business. Alright, let's go back to his main page, shall we? Back one more. Now, this is the post that I'm interested in. This is the post where Chris Ryder doubles down on dumb. Alright, now this looks fairly innocuous. 2nd of January this was posted. That was the year that Tiffany Napier and I, normal people, brackets, proved that we the people. No, you didn't prove we the people anything. You proved that I the person, you, and he reckons we the people, the public, brackets, have more power than the Kentucky state government. Where, where are you dreaming this up from, Chris? They started with the attack on me on January the 2nd. As the year ends, I have exposed them for abusing their positions all the way from City Street Patrol level to their FBI, aka Department of Justice level, in brackets. 2024 is the year that I, with your help, yeah, well, we'll see about that, will hold them accountable. Cheers. Now, 2024 is looking like the year that your last days of freedom are counting down very rapidly. Now, I'm going to be really careful when I open up this comments. It says 54 comments. He's actually deleted a lot of the comments that were here, particularly by people who don't agree with him. But don't worry, Chris, I've got a snapshot of that, some of those comments. Now, these are just some of the comments, and there's one particular one which I'm going to be very careful because I don't want to dox the person, even though Chris Ryder doesn't care and he's doxed the address. And we're going to talk about that. So, right here, this is the post that I'm talking about. From Chris Ryder. Any of you have an issue with me, come and settle it at blank. I'll be waiting in my underwear. Oh God, that's a sight that I don't want to see. Thanks for the visual on that one though, Chris. And Gary Monet, I'm on my way, brother. Make sure you've got all the beer and all the women so we can beat them.
I wasn't going to break into this. I feel that I must though. This comment from Gary Monet, I'm on my way, brother. Make sure you got all the beer and all the women so we can beat them. LOL. This just goes to show the mentality of his followers. Even if this was meant as a joke, domestic violence or assault is nothing to be joking about. Chris, you've deleted other comments from people who voice their opinion against you, which is a constitutionally protected activity thanks to the First Amendment freedom of speech. And yet you allow a comment like this to remain, which is denoting violence. And this is not protected under the First Amendment.
LOL. I wonder how many people's really going to show up. And then he says, Gary Monet says, shit, don't forget the marijuana. Okay, let's discuss this, shall we? Chris Ryder has just doxed a city official's private residence. Chris Ryder does not live in this house. Right? Chris Ryder lives in Main Street, Lansville, Indiana. And I'll show you a picture of his house. That's more like what Chris has got. The house that he has doxed is not Chris Ryder's. Chris, you obviously have no idea what you're doing. Do you ever stop and think about the trouble that your mouth gets you into? Obviously not. There's proof here. Now, at a minimum, Chris, you're looking at harassment. Maybe even felony harassment. Now, if people start rocking up at this house, I can guarantee you, Chris Ryder will not be sitting there waiting for you in his underwear. And, if you do start rocking up, Chris, Christopher, what you're doing, you could be held as an accessory before and after the fact. If five or more people rock up under Kentucky legislation, that could be classified as a riot.
I mean, it's not a riot like we saw on January 6th at Capitol Hill. It just requires more than 5 people to rock up. Now, they can get done for harassment, but you could be done for incitement. Chris, you really need to stop and think before you post, either here on Facebook or on YouTube. You know, law officials or law enforcement, I'm sure the district attorney, they're watching you, and all you're doing is hanging yourself. You know, we saw all your bullshit with the FBI. Oh, I'm a great FBI snitch. They like me. They didn't even let you into the bloody office. And you go and do dumb things like this. No wonder people really don't like you. No wonder people keep having a go at you. It's time to grow up, Christopher. You know, JJ Scarborough gave you and Tiffany some great advice. You know, advice that normal people would have to pay for. But he gave it to you for free.
And
Served.
I think you ought to spend more time trying to get your kids back, and you should spend more time not beating women.
But because the pair of you have nothing between the left and the right ears, it's gone in one ear and straight out the other. But I'll replay that advice for you, just so that maybe it might sink in.
And
Served.
I think you ought to spend more time trying to get your kids back, and you should spend more time not beating women.
Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it. Before I go, shout out to Tiffany of the Roughnecks and of Wrangler. We would like to thank you for the product placement for Wrangler's merchandise, and in particular for his hoodies. And if you haven't seen that, I'll show it right here. And let's just take a quick zoom in. And thanks, Tiffany. It was nice of you to advertise on your channel. I'm forwarded to watch, and I'm going to leave it here. Hopefully, Christopher might learn something. And JJ, how about giving that advice back to Christopher and Tiffany?
And
Served.
I think you ought to spend more time trying to get your kids back, and you should spend more time not beating women.